I just know this is some of the things that Julian's gonna say is gonna break my heart. I have done it. I found it. Why? Whoa. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. It is January 2nd. We are going to be finishing 2 or 3 series completely in this video because I just checked back at my Notion tracker and there are a few series that I literally only have 1 book left that is out right now. We are going to start Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, the last book in the Magnolia Parks series that is out right now. Magnolia Parks 3 comes out on BJ's birthday, February 14th, and I have that pre-ordered. But as far as the books that are out right now, this is the last book. And we have read the other 3 books, and now we're on to this one. I am super excited to get into this because I just finished reading Iron Flame and I am going through like an Iron Flame hangover where I'm like, I needed the 3rd book like yesterday. So to get me out of that, I want to read another really good book, which I know this one's gonna be. And we're gonna start off strong, but I'm probably gonna cry. So yeah, let's do that right now. Okay, hello everyone. Filming this intro at the end of the video, so we're gonna go back in time after this, but we are gonna be finishing a couple series in this video. But just if you have not read the previous books in the series, then don't watch this video. I don't want any spoilers for you for the rest of the series. So yeah, enjoy the video, enjoy the reading. I am both excited and scared. I am just so looking forward to Julian's point of view in this book. Because I think in my last continuing series video, I read Magnolia Parks Along My Home. And this is the same timeline, but of course it's from Daisy, Julian, and Christian's point of view. And we all know what happened in Magnolia Parks Long Way Home. This is going to be a no spoilers video, so you can watch this if you have not read the books I'm about to read. I am scared, but I am excited because I just know this is some of the things that Julian's gonna say is gonna break my heart. And I am curious about the Christian and Daisy situation because they were mentioned briefly in Magnolia Parks Long Way Home, but not nearly as much as Julian. Yay! That she does in Daisy's chapters, she does these like little footnotes at the bottom, so that's gonna take a little bit more getting used to. It is a new day and I thought I would give you a little update. We are on page 174 after New Year's Eve, like just the scenes after New Year's Eve. And it's so good. Like I have all of my little tabs. There's a lot already. And because I know sort of what happens at least with Julian and Magnolia, because I know that already from reading Magnolia Parks Long Way Home, I was so excited to see it from Julian's perspective, and it did not disappoint because he's not like fully admitting yet that he's in love with her, but from reading Magnolia Parks Long Way Home, we know that that's sort of what happens. Even like Daisy and Christian's story, I am more invested in this book than I was in the first Daisy Hates book. In the first Daisy Hates book, I feel like I was like invested in Daisy and Christian, but not as much. And it's interesting because, and I think that Jessica Hastings did this on purpose, and maybe this is not like new knowledge to anybody, but Daisy and Christian are an example of what could have happened with Magnolia and BJ if they found someone else that could help them get over each other, because Daisy had Romeo, that was like her BJ, but because she met Christian, it's like an example of what could have happened in the Magnolia BJ story if one of them found a Christian or something like that, which is interesting. And it's interesting to see the relationship growing, because what we've seen in Magnolia Parks is just like BJ and Magnolia have always just like been BJ and Magnolia, like it's never been anyone else truly. But now seeing in the first book them growing together, that new relationship forming was fun. And then even seeing here how Christian is like so heartbroken that he didn't go with Daisy when she asked him to leave with her for a normal life, and he said no because he couldn't leave his basically crime syndicate lifestyle. And then the quotes in the very beginning, one quote that he said that I was like, ah, Daisy for me was a complete trip. I accidentally fell in love with her and I accidentally lost her. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready to love someone how it turns out I love her. I just never saw her coming. I couldn't have picked loving her out of a lineup until it happened, and then it was everything. My first thought, last thought, mid-thought, the name I'd say in my sleep, the body I'd think about when I was with other bodies, the smell I'd try to chase down every time I'd walk through a Selfridges just so I could breathe in something that smelled like her and feel close to her again, but I can never find it. And I know that Julian is gonna have some even more heartbreaking quotes because he like breaks up with Magnolia so that she can be with BJ even though he wants to be with her. I just know that that's coming too, but just like Christian saying that, I was like, that was like in page 10. I was like, damn, Justice A6, you're hitting me real early on with Julian and Magnolia. He hasn't said that he loves her yet, but you could tell that he's like, I feel more for her than I did for any other girl, and it's so sweet. And then I also actually started Redeemed on my Kindle, which is the 4th book in the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. You know how I feel about Dirty Air series. It's just something about it that I don't love, but I love this book. I have done it. I found it. I found the book in the Dirty Air series that I genuinely like and get the hype about, because this book is so much better than the other 3 in my opinion. This is the Santi and Chloe book, and it's interesting because Santi throughout the first 3 books he was like such like a happy cheery guy and not like the grumpy guy like the other guys were, but something tragic that happens to him in the prologue of this book and then it turns him into like a grumpy and stuff like that, but it's in the future. So like Maya and Noah are popping up with Marco, which is their kid. I love the little cameos of Maya and Noah. Do you see Simba? He is like crawling into my library. But anyway, I love Marco, their son, so cute. And then Santi has to babysit him in the very beginning. And then Chloe, the way that Santi and Chloe meet is just, it's just funny and it doesn't feel cheesy to me. It's kind of cheesy. Romances feel kind of cheesy to me every now and then, but it's like a fake dating trope, and I love the fake dating trope, and this is how you do it right. Like, this is it done right in my opinion. Santi is like grumpy because of his circumstances. Chloe is helping him get out of it, and just seeing her help him get out of it and like regain his self-confidence and face his fears and everything like that, and the same to do with him, and she has like a bad past too. I feel like this is the first book in the Dirty Air series where I feel like both characters are very well fleshed out. Like, I feel like Chloe and also Santi, because I've known him for the past 3 other books, is pretty well fleshed out. But also Chloe, she did a good job at fleshing her out, of just introducing her in this book, in my opinion, for what she needed. I didn't know how it was going to be with Santi because I feel like in the first 2 books you just saw him as like the big brother to Maya because it was from her point of view, so I didn't know that how a romance with him was going to go. But I love it, and I am like zipping through this. I started this yesterday and I am already on chapter 38. I'm 73% of the way done, and I'm just like, I just want to keep reading it. That is awesome to say because you know how I feel about Dirty Air series. Like, I didn't know how this one was gonna be, but I am so happy that I stuck it out and I got to this book. So yeah, that's Redeemed. And Daisy Hates a Great Undoing, our 2 books we're reading right now. I think I'm gonna go read more of Redeemed actually because I'm so close to being done with this one. So yeah, let's go do that. Why, Julian? Why? He's lying to himself. I am in quite a state right now. I'm in my little llama snuggie type thing. I'm reading Magnolia Parks. Not Magnolia Parks. Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. Why did I like not remember that? What the heck? I'm obsessed with this book. Page 282 and 283. And honestly, I am cracking up. Like, first, what Christian said to Daisy, definitely underlined that. But also, the little footnotes of the conversation between Magnolia and Julian. I am cracking up. It is hilarious. Okay, why does chapter 51, why do I love this chapter and hate it at the same time? Because first, Julian compares Magnolia to literal artwork. I'm sorry? She is the goddess in the Botticelli clamshell. Her eyes are the water lilies in Monet's pond. She is the hand of God reaching down to take mankind. Clement's kiss is a portrait of us, and I'm gonna steal it. Take it, make it mine, make her mine too. Maybe do that one first. And then he's like, we can do this, we'll figure it out, I'm in love with her, I'm gonna tell her, right? And then you skip to the next page. He says, I hate loving her. It's the great undoing of my heart as I know it. Over the mantelpiece, she hung her own portrait up herself. Best painting I've ever seen, too. Better than any woman anyone has ever painted in the history of time. A face I'd win battles for, a face I'd lose anything for, even her. It's time. I love her more than I've ever loved anything, and I thought I might have been able to angle it. Find a way for us to work. A life between where I can be who I am and love her how I do and it not be the death of her. But it's not in the cards. I'd be the death of her, and I won't be. So it's time. Not him starting the chapter, and then he like realizes who he is because of what happens, and then he's like, I've loved her more than I've loved anything ever, and now I have to lose her for her. I love this book. Honestly, Daisy and Christian's story is good, but I love this book because of Magnolia and Julian's story. And they're not even a story. Like, Magnolia and BJ are the love story, and I love this book because of Julian and Magnolia's almost love story. I can't. Let's read more and break my heart a little bit each time. Hello everyone, it is the next day and I have decorated a little bit for Valentine's Day with our little red blanket, pink pillow, and our little hearts. Put away Christmas, or starting to put away Christmas. I wanted to come on here to talk about the books that I finished that we were reading. So I have finished Redeemed on my Kindle, and I have also finished Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. We have officially finished those two books. I think they were both very, very good. We like could have known that this one was gonna be an Infinity Star read, but even Redeemed, I think I gave it like 4 stars. That was like a good book. Okay, so let's start with that one because that is the last book in the Dirty Air series, and I am so happy to be done with that series. There was just something about them from the first book that I just didn't love. I think I talked about it more in my wrap up. So that's like what I was going into Redeemed thinking. I was like, it's the last book in the series, might as well just finish it. I picked it up not really expecting much, and I really liked it. Like, it is the highest rated book in that series for me, Redeemed, the last book. It's about Chloe and Santi. Santi is Maya's, who's the love interest in the first book. It's her brother. So we've been hearing about Santi for the past 3 books. And then we open it up and immediately, prologue, he is in this crazy accident. He had to get his like amputated. That is not a spoiler because that is literally in the prologue. Chloe actually had a lot of heavy stuff happen in her past as well. And I feel like what I loved about this book is I was actually invested in both the love interests, and therefore I was invested in their relationship. The things that happened made sense based on their backstories and everything like that. The third act breakup was still ridiculous, but are you gonna read a romance book where the third act breakup isn't ridiculous? Probably not. Maya and Noah are in this a decent amount. The love story from the first book, and their kid is in it, which is so fun. I loved Marco in this book. He was like the perfect little kid in this book. Like, that's exactly how I like little kids to be written. And I did like the ending. It was a satisfying epilogue with all the couples. So yeah, that's redeemed. 4 stars. So happy that that one was like the best one in the series, because the Dirty Hair series and me have a weird relationship, but I really liked that one. And now moving on to Daisy Hates The Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings. My ear just kicked on. If you hear that, I'm sorry. It was a masterpiece. It was beautiful. Just like thinking about some of the things in this book makes me want to cry. First of all, look at all of these tabs. Jessa Hastings never disappoints with the amazing quotes she puts in her books. And there's one. There's a lot in here, but there was one in specific that I literally just kept flipping to read even when I wasn't there yet, because it is like the same timeline as Magnolia Parks 2, which I read before this. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. So I just kept on flipping to it, and I was like, it broke my heart every time. And again, don't listen to this review if you haven't read Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home, because these are going to be spoilers. Just Julian in this book, I was so much more invested in Julian and Magnolia's story than I was in Daisy and Christian's. I liked Daisy and Christian's in this. I feel like they communicated a decent amount in this book. There was still, of course, miscommunication, because that's just how Magnolia Park universe works. But I feel like Daisy and Christian's story was very cute. Julian and Magnolia's story is what really just made this like a top tier book for me, because just Julian's point of view, seeing how he felt about Magnolia and the beautiful quotes that Jessa Hastings put to describe how Julian felt about Magnolia, and like I nearly cried with him when he had to break it off, because he knew that he would never replace BJ. But Julian Hayes doesn't fall in love, and he did. Oh my god. Ugh, I love the entire Magnolia Park series. Magnolia Parks 3 is coming out next month, which I'm so excited to read. And the way that it ended, major cliffhanger. One thing Jessa Hastings will do is in the last like 30 pages, she'll throw you for a major loop in all of her books. Just like, whoa. Normal for the first part of the book, and then the last 30 pages, it's like bam, 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 things happening back to back, and you're like, whiplash. But it's so good. I'm gonna read you some of the quotes in here. There was one that was actually in Magnolia Parks, and I think I highlighted it in Magnolia Parks 2. And just seeing it from Julian's perspective, it's like, ah. Julian says, in another life, I think I could have loved you. Never mind that I already love her in this one. And then she says, in another life, I would have let you. Christian and Magnolia are just so funny in this book. This book made me laugh a lot too. But yeah, I can go on and on and on about this book, and I'm just gonna stop myself there because I'm already recording for so long. But those are the 2 books that we finished, the 2 series that we finished in this video. The next book that I'm reading is The Final Author, the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. So we are like just getting through series in this week, and I loved it. But that is going to be saved for another video. Let's check off on our series tracker. This is like my favorite part, honestly. When I finish a series, my favorite part is being able to check them off on my series tracker. Redeemed, Dirty Hair, check. And Magnolia Parks Universe, Daisy Hates, check. We did it! We finished 2 complete series. Those are the 2 series, the 2 books that we read. I am very happy with both of them. I think they were both amazing reads, and I highly recommend them. That is gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.